All right, welcome back to the Beast Game podcast. And today we are talking about Expendables 4 or Exforables, like whatever you want to call it. But this is obviously the fourth movie in the line of Expendables movies. And I want to say that only the first one was good. Well, Jean-Claude Van Damme was in the second one, so that one was okay. I think Scott Adkinson was in that. But this one is directed by Scott Waugh. The writers are Kurt Wimmer, Ted Daggard, Max Adams, and it stars Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, 50 Cent, Megan Fox, and a whole bunch of other people, Iko Uwais and Tony Jaa, and I couldn't really make sense of what was going on with that. Generally, all these movies start off in the action scene. They're the people that you call when you really need something done. There is like a whole action scene that sets up the fact that Sylvester Stallone has lost his ring. And his ring is on a bunch of dildos for whatever reason. They get the ring back after a small action scene, and then they're kind of brought in by Andy Garcia for this one job. Execution of the job, Sylvester Stallone's character somewhat dies in a plane crash. And then you have Jason Statham wondering what happened, why did the job go wrong? Nevertheless, James, how do you feel about Expendables 4?
It should not have been made. I believe the last one was what, 2013?
That is correct. So there is
It's
not
been 10
a
years.
yeah, there's not a market for. I think it might have been 2014, but there's not a market for Expendables movies. Plain and simple. This is not Fast and the Furious, but this is what it tries to do: bring back family.
In my opinion, the movie shouldn't have been made. They should have stopped it at 2013, or even at Expendables 2. I think I only watched the first two.
That third one had Mel Gibson in it, I think.
I think I may have saw that. Which one had Jean-Claude in it? Was the second one?
I believe that was the second one because that had Liam Hemsworth in it.
Wasn't Chuck Norris in one of them too, or was that the
that
first
was the third one?
Okay, so I did see the third one. I just don't remember the third one like that. But they could have just stopped at the third one and called it a day. Like you say, there's not really a market for it. To be honest with you, there's not really a market for Fast and the Furious either, but the box office says otherwise. It seemed like it was outdated, unnecessary. And it's hard for me to believe that Megan Fox is a fucking expendable. And the thing is, I know she gets a lot of shit online and
She's a terrible actress, but
yeah. I mean, there were some movies that she did that was not bad. She actually showed some acting chops. Like, I forgot, it was a movie on Netflix. It was like a thriller or some shit, and she did okay. But the point is, would anyone believe that motherfucking fine-ass Megan Fox is expendable?
No.
That she knows how to fucking fight, like, to be an expendable. No. She knows how to use weapons. She knows anything about being a mercenary. Fuck no. You only suspend disbelief for so much. It's very telegraphed.
Well, I mean, even from the point that, but it's believed that Sylvester Stallone character is shot out the sky and he dies. This is a Sylvester Stallone movie. You know this is not going to happen.
Exactly. I think when it did happen, you and I was like, okay, he faked his death and he's going after the dude, the handler of the Expendables. And we were 100% correct. And this was maybe 15, 20 minutes into the movie?
Yeah. Because Andy Garcia, they rolled him out. Dude, you've been in good movies.
It's kind of beneath him. I would not watch this shit again. I would not watch it again at all. I will give it some positives. The positive is Jason Statham. But we already know Jason Statham, and he can carry a movie.
And he can fight. He does have fighting skills, but it's really not even necessary. And then you also have Tony Jaa in this movie, which, like, why are you in this movie? There's no point for him and, like, Iko Uwais, like, how do you say his last name? But there's no point for you to be in this movie. Don't be in this trash. You have a career. Stop. Get help. But, yeah, like you said, this movie just should not have been made. It is beyond terrible. And I think I fell asleep and then the movie was still on.
I couldn't really follow it because I really didn't care.
Yeah, and it's just like
I invested in any of this shit.
And then they do the whole thing, kind of like Fast and Furious, where we have to break people out now. Somebody has to go on a secret mission, and they can't tell anybody, but then the other group is somehow involved in something else. I'm like, That's not
You
what
had
we.
two missions going on at the same time that kind of coincided with one another.
Yeah, yeah, and the director has directed such classics as Need for Speed.
Need for Speed.
Yeah, there was
There was
a Need for Speed movie in 2014 that had Aaron Paul in it.
all right. I already know it's bad.
Yeah,
Not because of Aaron Paul. Well, no, kind of because of Aaron Paul. Because I can't see him as a leading man
at
in
the
a
height of Breaking
Speed movie.
Bad fame, Aaron
Yeah.
Paul. But that's what we're dealing with, and this is not a movie that anyone should see. They should not have made this movie. Someone somewhere, some executive is probably like, we made a mistake. And then on top of that, there was like some atrocious green screen going on. At least try to make it look realistic. But there's like, obviously you see people on a sound stage holding guns or driving a vehicle, and then it's like green screen. But James, what score would you give The Expendables?
And we do this on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah,
I give it a 3.
I'm going to have to give this one a 0. As I said, there was no market. Not someone saying, "Hey, I wish there would have been another Expendables movie." I mean, they had
Right.
done pretty much everybody in that last movie. They had Chuck Norris. I think they had Wesley Snipes in it.
Yeah, Bruce Willis in one, didn't they?
Yeah, he was in maybe like one or two of those.
Jet Li.
Yep. So Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Mel Gibson, Wesley Snipes, Dolph Lundgren, Harrison Ford, Antonio Banderas was in that. Arnold Schwarzenegger was in it. Jet Li, Kelsey Grammer, Terry Crews, Kellen Lutz, Randy Couture was in it.
What
Mickey
the
Rourke
fuck
was in it.
was Kelsey Grammer doing in this shit?
I want to say he was like a government official. I want to say, but
Had to be.
fair amount of people. Ronda Rousey was in it. Like, how much more do you want? So Harrison Ford was a CIA field operative officer who manages the Expendables. Mel Gibson was a ruthless arms dealer. And
So basically, he was the handler in that one.
Kelsey Grammer was a Bonaparte, a retired mercenary, and allied of the Expendables. Yeah, they were driving somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember that part. All right, so that's the Beast Game Podcast. Don't see this trash. Peace out.